Hello people, I'm here today with my May wrap-up. This month was not as good of a reading month as I would have liked, but I had a few books that kicked in at the end, and I had some lengthy books. So I read 6 books this month, and I'm just going to go through them right now in order how I read them. So the first book I read was Mr. Rochester by SARA Shoemaker. God, that feels ages ago. I gave it 4 stars. This book was good. I mean, I really enjoyed it. I haven't read Jane Eyre since junior high school. I really enjoyed getting to know the backstory of Mr. Rochester, and it made me want to reread Jane Eyre. So I think Jane Eyre fans will be happy with this story very much. Next, I read Our Revolution, A Future to Believe In by Bernie Sanders. Now, I don't want to get political on my channel. I know I'm not spouting any sort of political agenda here, people. I was curious about Bernie Sanders. I'm originally from Vermont. I wanted to get to know his backstory more and some of the more detailed plans of what he thought the answers would be for some of the problems we have in our country. I gave this book 4 stars. I did like it. I especially liked the beginning part of it where it talks about him growing up in Brooklyn, really being a fan of baseball, living with his little family, the impression that his older brother gave to him, and how that led him into politics. The middle part was kind of more on his platform, but as he says, there's a reason why that is a platform, because these are things we need to discuss. And the third part is what his plan is to do about those problems that we have. I like his message of going forth and being active and doing something about it. You know, a little bit of that grassroots, and I found it inspiring. I can see how the middle can be repetitive to people, but I did really like it. So his saying is, think big and act boldly, and I totally agree. The next book I read was The Tea Girl of Hummingbird Lane by Lisa C., and I did a book review for this, so I won't go into too much detail, but 5 stars, guys. 5 stars. I loved this book. I just couldn't read it fast enough. There were so many little gems that Lisa put into this book about family, mothers and daughters, adoption, one-child policy, China, tea. The list goes on and on. I really enjoyed it. I've already kind of cemented it in my mind a few of my favorite books already for this year, so this might be one of them up there. The next book I read was our Read Around the Book Club book. It's called Evening is the Whole Day, and I will leap. Every time I say this book, I say evening is the whole day. I don't know why I say that. Mel's going to have a small collaboration video about this book. I gave this book 2 stars. It was okay. I still really liked reading it, but it wasn't my cup of tea overall. I enjoyed reading In the Country of Malaysia. I've not done that yet, so still a good book, but probably my least favorite of this month. And then I had a little bit of a interloper come in. I was not planning on reading this book, but it came up as a hold at my library, and that was Spark Joy, blah, 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 blah. It's always something about decluttering and cleaning up and organizing by Marie Kondo. This is the second book in her Life-Tidying Magic of Cleaning Up series. I forgot to do that. Yeah, it's inspiring. It basically is these little cute drawings she does of bunnies and things of her ideas, and I think you should read the first book first if you can. You don't have to, but I found that book better, and this is just a whatever book to me, honestly. I gave that 3 stars because it still did make me go and try and organize things, so she always gets me. And then the last book, whoa, this was such a cool unintended book that just came to me. I went to a used bookstore. I went through and read 1 or 2 chapters in each of the books I got because I just was so excited and I couldn't stop. And this book is particularly interesting to me because I do live in Boston, and it ties in with the art heist at Isabella Stewart Gardner's museum. And in the middle of the night, two people dressed as police come through to two kind of not very good guards. They stole 13 pieces of work, over $500 million, and they're still missing today. And so this is not, there's some true things in it, like the scenery. We follow this main sort of, quote, starving artist, Claire Roth, in the South End, which all of that's true. There's Back Bay and Newbury Street, but then she goes into some sort of kind of fantastical storyline, which I loved. I loved the storyline, and but it's not true. And that's the sad part. I wish we knew. I wish we could really know what she was thinking. So I gave this book 4 stars. On Goodreads, it's a 4.5 stars. And I immediately put B.A. Shapiro's second book, The Muralist, on my TBR pile. I was curious if you guys knew any other books about art besides the usuals that you really like. I read A Girl with a Pearl Earring by Tracy Chevalier. I read The Swan Thieves by Elizabeth Kostova. I started reading The Lady in Gold about the Gustav Klimt painting. I'm halfway through that. And I know there was a very decorated book that just came out called The Last Painting of Sarah DeVos by Dominic Smith, which I started and enjoyed, but I had too much on my plate, and the library took it back from me. Oh, there was another one that just recently came out. If you know of any other books about art, especially if they lean more true to the painting, let me know. So in terms of how I did on my goals, actually, I'm going to give myself a pass. I didn't complete them all, but I didn't do horrible. So I read diversely. I thank God for my reading group, because it's one thing that I have to do, and I did. And actually, I kind of think that the T-Girl of Hummingbird Lane is also diverse. I did not read my Laurie King book, and I knew that was going to potentially happen because I knew that Robin Hobb was releasing Assassin's Fate, and it's like 900 pages or something extravagant like that. So she's going to have to take a back seat this month. So I consider my Hobb Assassin's Fate, and I read 50% of the book, which is like 500 pages, but I didn't finish the book. I started and did not finish Fahrenheit 451, which is like the smallest book ever. I went on to audio, and then I decided, I'm not giving this the time and attention it deserves, so I'm going to just not force it and kind of just go where my gut took me. Like, why read something that I wasn't really into when like this and T-Girl were like tugging at me constantly, read me. So I just went with it, and I'm very happy with my decision. I'm going to make another video about my to be read for next month. I am going to make a book video of The Art Forger. I know I say that about a lot of things, but it is on my list because I really liked it. I can't wait to watch all of your guys' reading months. If you have anything to say about any of these books, and again, those art recommendation books, please let me know. So good to see your smiling faces. I will talk to you soon. Happy reading, everybody. Thanks for watching. Bye.